According to the Federal Drug Administration, 90% of people in the world use caffeine in one form or another. In the United States, caffeine has become such an important part of our lives that it is very difficult to avoid it. The purpose of this speech is to inform the audience about how easy caffeine is to find and how we, as people, use it. I will also discuss some of the less known uses for caffeine as well as a few of the negatives to its use. The three main points that I'll discuss during this speech are caffeine facts, how caffeine is used, and possible health issues related to using caffeine. The word cafe is derived from the French word café, meaning coffee. Caffeine is a psychoactive drug. That means that it can alter moods and distort perception, which is not necessarily a bad thing. As a tired person drinks caffeine, they immediately become more energetic and focused. According to an article by Jane E. Brody, caffeine can lower the risk of Parkinson's disease and diabetes. According to the BBC, there may even be some preventative capabilities of caffeine in relation to Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's disease can be correlated to high cholesterol. Cholesterol can weaken the filter in the brain that blocks harmful chemicals. Drinking caffeine can strengthen these filters enough to counter the effects of high cholesterol. Well, these are not the most known uses for caffeine. There are many everyday uses for caffeine that are much more common. There are many health benefits to drinking caffeine. For people with asthma, it helps reduce respiratory muscle fatigue. People that suffer from gallbladder disease, it reduces the risk of developing gallstones. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Most people with ADHD react to the exact opposite to most stimulants. Low blood pressure helps increase adrenaline production. People that suffer from type 2 diabetes, it impairs glucose metabolism. And with migraine headaches, caffeine makes pain relievers 40% more effective. Caffeine helps the body absorb pain medication faster, bringing relief quicker. Many athletes use caffeine as well in the form of energy drinks for the boost of energy and increased alertness and focus. Coffee and tea drinkers make up the biggest percentage of users. Most adults in the U.S. consume 2 to 3 cups of either coffee or tea on a daily basis. While there are many common and some uncommon uses for caffeine, there are still some things to keep in mind before using too much of it. There's possible health issues related to using too much caffeine. An excessive use, which is 400 milligrams or more daily, can cause an addiction. You cannot live a day without it, you may suffer from severe headaches, and your body is less energetic and unfocused. 2, it can cause a loss of sleep. It can be difficult to sleep, which in turn weakens the immune system and an ability to stay focused and on task. I explained here today some of the facts about caffeine, how caffeine is used, and a few of the possible health-related issues associated with caffeine. Much of this information is commonly known, but that does not change the fact that caffeine has a bad reputation. The FDA saying that 90% of the world consumes caffeine every day was not a surprise to me, and I hope it is not a surprise to you either. What was a surprise to me is how much of a positive effect caffeine really has on all of our daily lives. Remember that the next time you buy that double espresso just right before class.